Keep walking, guys.
This video was sponsored by War Thunder, more about that later. So over the years, the meta, or the go-to for streaming and content creation, has changed significantly. Where at the start it was mainly about streamers just playing games and talking to their chat, and probably the pinnacle of those streams back then would be the streamer hitting an epic clip, or their family member coming in without knowing they're live and embarrassing them.
Go to the bathroom and take a now.
Hey.
Bathroom and now. Go to the bathroom and take a shit. I can smell you. Get off.
Hey,
Go to the bathroom.
Get out.
Go to the bathroom. I can smell you. Shit yourself.
Around this time, streaming was mostly about the gameplay and the personality of the streamer.
What the fuck? What? People were just shitting themselves while playing video games? What the fuck? Hello?
Streaming was mostly about the gameplay and the personality of the streamer. However, in the current day, it's more about
You wouldn't get
clip
it.
farming.
Oh, you're right.
You really think I'm case?
Hey, where's my shake? Shake that ass! Drive!
It's shake your booty. Come on, man. It's shake your booty. Get it right. Come on, dog. This guy sucks.
Hey, where's my shake? Shake that ass! Drive!
Oh, wait, I like this clip. Wait, I like this clip. Hold on.
It's more...
What was the context behind this, dude? He just does it. Hello? Oh my.
It's more about drama.
XQC is like Jekyll and Hyde, because who XQC is?
Oh my god. I saw this clip, guys. I saw this clip, low-key, and I was like, are all of y'all off and on camera not the same? Be so fucking for real, dude. I was like, what the fuck? There's a clip that's like going around to those of you that don't know, and it's Ludwig saying like XQC is like not even who he presents himself to be as he presents himself like online. You know what I mean? They were like, he's like, yeah, like XQC is like so mean to everybody online, but in person, he's like the most nicest person ever. And I was like, that's a lot of you guys. Like, what the fuck? You guys are like the opposite though. A lot of you guys like present yourself to be nice, but you're actually like a huge piece of shit behind the scene. Hello? What the fuck?
XQC is like Jekyll and Hyde, because who XQC is on stream is like a really brash person.
Isn't it Jekyll and Hyde, not Jekyll and Hyde? English major, by the way. And it's more about producing pure rage bait, so that clip, like clip farming, is then taken from your stream and spread throughout the internet, where people will openly criticize you and judge your character, even though it was probably intentional and maybe even staged for that desired effect.
I realize I'm using my headset mic to react. Hold on. We gotta go back to the fine. Hold on. My apologies.
Your account has been deactivated. L. Lacey, that poor guy's gonna be broke now. Bro, send him like $250.
Okay. $250, bro. What? At least 5. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not sending him $500.
Bro, you his shit.
Huh?
You his shit.
Okay, but he knew the risk giving someone his DoorDash account.
Yeah, but I told him you were gonna be a regular fucking dasher.
Was I not?
Bro, you were eating the food, you fucking fatty.
Okay.
He got community noted. He got community noted.
I had a little snack.
And the result of this is free publicity and an increase in hate watchers, both benefiting you until in some cases it gets too much to the point where people take the bait way too seriously, and maybe they start preying on your downfall or even threatening your life, and results in you having to come clean and break both the character and the illusion that it's organic to tell people that you were just doing it for content for your own safety.
But yeah, I just got a weird, it's a weird threat. Like, normally it's the...
What the fuck? This person just moaned in my chat and left. What the fuck? Hello?
But yeah, I just got a weird, it's a weird threat. Like, normally it's the normal shit like, oh, self, or, oh, I'm gonna find you and murder you.
What the fuck?
But this one was just a little different. I don't know how to explain it. It was just a little different.
This is just how streaming is nowadays. But what if, stay with me now, if there was a streamer that's been streaming for well over a decade, they've been very successful in their streaming career, they're actually known throughout the streaming space, but they've also had their fair share of controversies, they've said things that sometimes don't make sense or contradict what they've previously stated.
And we hate the rich. Anyways. Too much.
Aren't you the rich?
No! Like the ultra rich, the ultra giga rich.
And you cannot tell if what they say and do they mean, or it's just really successful rage bait. But either way, it's produced a similar effect regardless, where people regularly express their somewhat disdain for them. People will clip anything said that can be deemed even remotely controversial to profit on the hate for them. And another thing which is common on the internet right now, which is if they happen to be even remotely close to the supposed ancient age of 30, they will be constantly reminded of that fact, and by that time they should have had a significant other, kids, and weirdly enough that their eggs are close to expiring.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They're hated that much. Maybe
Wow.
the internet was a mistake. But that streamer...
What the fuck? What? That's a huge yikes. What the hell? That's nasty to say.
Their kids, and weirdly enough that their eggs are close to expiring. Yeah. They're hated that much. Maybe the internet was a mistake. But that streamer and content creator I vaguely described is Pokimane. Someone that a few years ago actually had an overwhelmingly positive reputation, but in the current year it's drastically changed to the point where it appears there's more hate for her than anything else, and day by day it only gets worse. But before we get into why she's hated, the controversies that may have brought about said hate, and if she deserves the hate, we first need to know who Pokimane is.
There's a reason it's called compulsive masturbator. It's not like something...
Okay, listen, bro, you have a legitimate issue, go see a doctor, like a dude with a legit PhD. That ain't me.
So Pokimane, or Amine Anis, was born on the 14th of May 1996 in the country of Morocco. Now, not a lot is known about her earlier life except she would move from Morocco to Quebec, Canada at the age of 4, which I imagine must have been terrible with the average resident of Quebec not only speaking French, but also speaking barely translatable English. You're probably better off trying to communicate with the inhabitants of the North Sentinel Island, who have been isolated from other humans and the world for at least 30,000 years, than trying to communicate with any Quebecian that claims they speak English.
No, I've heard that bag. I've seen some of these documentaries, I ain't believe none of that. Hey, the game government ain't no getting no one in the best sample, no, give my 3D.
I have no...
What the fuck? Hello?
They speak English.
No, I've heard that bag. I've seen some of these documentaries, I ain't believe none of that. Hey, the game government ain't no getting no one in the best sample, no, give my 3D.
I have no idea what the fuck you're saying right now.
But slander to the side, Amine would make her start on the internet in June of 2013 at around the age of 17, where she would create her account on the Twitch platform and begin streaming under the guise of wanting to find other people that also played games. As in her own words, she didn't know anybody or have anyone to play with in her entire city. She began streaming the same time she created the account, going under the name Pokimane, which apparently was a name produced by mixing her name with the name of the Pokemon franchise. I am surprised Nintendo hasn't sued her yet with their track record. At the start of her streaming career, she would mainly stream League of Legends whilst also still being in high school, and around this time is when one of her infamous moments would occur that is still brought up to this day, which was her ripping the N-word whilst playing League of Legends because a person in her chat said her stream was boring.
Oh my god, well, like, I'm not a girl, so I can't get as many viewers as... Nick, you ain't funny. That's not true. Maybe you're just boring as fuck and lame as hell. Cause Only lame niggas say that shit. Sorry, getting mad.
This would be a clip that would forever haunt.
What?
Say that shit. Sorry, getting mad.
This would be a clip that would forever haunt Pokimane in the future, mainly used whenever she spoke out about racism.
Ever racist. I have no prior history of any racist behavior.
But years later, she would give an excuse for this, saying she was still young, she didn't mean it in a derogatory way, and it was a different time back.
Hard for me to speak on this clip context because it's so old. I'm almost 23 and was underage in that clip. Oh.
She was still young, she didn't mean it in a derogatory way, and it was a different time back then. Which, to speak on the last point, she wasn't really wrong. Take one step into a MW2 lobby around that time, and you'd probably be educated on a slur for almost every ethnicity.
Yeah.
But despite her reasoning, it is still brought up to this day, even if it is now over 2 decades old. But back to the start of her career, she would only really stream League of Legends, something she continued to do for the next few years, even when she had graduated from high school and began studying chemical engineering at McMaster University in Ontario. Poki would always find some time to stream from her dorm room whilst attending classes, sometimes back to back and enduring 9 to 12 hour days, apparently just so she could get some spare time to maintain her streaming schedule. Which resulted in her building her audience and platform to the point where in 2015 she was making enough money to pay for things like her school by herself. And she was also getting recognised by Twitch, getting her own area for fan meetups at TwitchCon. Around this time, people were not only watching her for the League content, but also for Pokimane. The personality behind the gameplay, from the way she would interact with people in her chat to her segments like Dr. Poki, where she would speak directly to people in her chat and try to solve their problems, which resulted in some weird interactions like this.
So my second issue is I'm a compulsive masturbator, right?
Guys, I'm scared to interact with people. I'm so terrified to interact with people, bro. What the fuck?
I meant it was, I'm a compulsive masturbator, right? I masturbate fucking like 10 times a day. You know what I mean? I don't know how to stop. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you had this issue. You know what I mean? Like, I'm asking advice.
Is he doing it? Is he doing it while talking to her? Hello?
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you had this issue. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, no.
I'm asking advice.
Oh, Pokey, please.
That issue, but
Okay, let's not kid ourselves, at least one person watching that stream was choking the chicken. That interaction was the only evidence I needed. And the only evidence I need that you're going to develop your next heroin-like addiction is with the sponsor of today's video, War Thunder. Something you've definitely heard about on this channel and probably when perusing the internet, most likely in the context of people complimenting the anime girl decals. But if you haven't heard, War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game on the internet right now, and it's completely free to play on PC, PlayStation, Xbox and mobile. A game where you can take control of over 2,500 vehicles, both modern and old, from aircrafts to the sea to ground-based vehicles. So there's something for everyone. And with how optimized the game is, even with the in-depth detail of the vehicles that are modeled almost exactly to their in real-life counterparts, and the beautiful graphics, this game can still run on low-end machines. Your toaster could probably run it. For legal purposes, that is probably not true. I personally love realistic mode's ground battles, but there's also an arcade mode for that quick boost of dopamine, and a simulator mode which gives you the most authentic experience. So what are you waiting for? Now is a better time than ever to play War Thunder for free and join a community of more than 95 million players by using my links in the description and pinned comment. New and returning players who haven't played in 6 months will get a massive bonus pack for PC and consoles. There are multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive Eagles of Valor vehicle decorator.
Guys, I played the ad because we might need this cleanse. This will be the only cleanse we have, okay?
100,000 silver
appreciate it
lions
now.
and 7 days of premium. Thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Going back to Pokimane, she was gathering momentum to the point where it looks like this streaming thing could work out, and she was also making a decent chunk of change doing it. But she was still a student. In fact, she had just finished her 2nd year of her chemical engineering degree, and she only had 1 more year left, where after she could freely explore her options from there. But feeling as though this opportunity wouldn't last much longer, she would decide to put her degree on hold and take a gap year to try out streaming full time. Something her parents didn't exactly agree with, but after seeing her revenue and reassuring them if things didn't work out she would only be missing a year of school, they were somewhat fine with it.
Through my last year, and I streamed part-time, and then I said, fuck this shit, I'm out 2 years into my chemical engineering degree.
Damn, what did your parents say?
Well, honestly, I kind of, you know, I was like, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. I did a PowerPoint. I was like, look at my income. He's like, doing this. Look at my college debt. He's doing this.
Damn.
And the result of this was that she would never be returning to school or finish her degree because her streaming career would start to...
The only way parents will accept content creation as a hobby, money spread on them. Yeah, basically. Basically, yes, that's how it was for me too, low-key. They actually kind of told me to stop going to work as well. You know what I mean? I had gotten robbed too, but I was making money on streaming. They kind of told me to quit. They were like, yeah, you don't really have to, you know, it's doing well for yourself, so you should just focus on that. I was like, yes, yes, ma'am, yes, sir.
Skyrocket at the start.
My parents kind of encouraged me to quit.
She would now be averaging over 3,000 concurrent viewers, a figure that would only continue to grow in tandem with the launch of games like Fortnite's Battle Royale.
What the fuck? Hello?
Poki began streaming Fortnite at its peak alongside League of Legends, which would result in her viewership exploding, and she would receive over 450,000 followers just that year. Around this time, she would also get the opportunity to become one of the founding members of a content creation group called Offline TV.
Oh shit.
Alongside other large streamers like Lily Pichu, Skara,
Sykkuno!
and Pokulols.
No!
Although a lot of the founding members would eventually leave, resulting in Lily Pichu and Skara being the only surviving founding members. Pokimane would move to LA following the decision to join Offline TV, and around the beginning of 2018, she would win the Shorty Award for Streamer of the Year.
Sykkuno is not a part of them. Oh, he's not? He's in the same sphere though. Oh, I thought he was. Oh, this entire time I thought he was. Yo, bro. Man, I miss Corpse. Sorry, dude. Oh, man. I miss, like, peak COVID time. Sykkuno Corpse hanging out. Oh, bro, I miss him. I just miss Corpse. I miss him, guys.
Beginning of 2018, she would win the Shorty Award for Streamer of the Year. From the outside, things were going very well for Pokimane. She was now averaging over 10,000 viewers per stream, a number that would still only continue to grow, and she would also see success on other platforms like YouTube, eventually reaching over 1 million subscribers. However, towards the end of 2018 is where people would begin to question Pokimane's character, as since she was getting popular, she had started to somewhat refine her on-stream behavior and image as a whole compared to previous years, and people were beginning to wonder if she truly was this wholesome and kind person she had built her brand on, or was it all fake? A sentiment that would continue to grow as the years went on and as she surrounded herself in more and more controversies. But said sentiment or opinion wasn't widespread at this point. It would first take a number of smaller events before it got to that level. The first sign of criticism against Pokimane, as mentioned, would start in late 2018. And it was another thing which still follows her around to this day, even though from the outside it appeared like a fairly wholesome act. And this event was her going on stream without makeup, which I assume had the objective of showing women it's okay to feel comfortable in their own skin. But it just led to people taking a screenshot of a single frame and waving it around, with most saying she was catfishing her audience with how different she looked with and without makeup. She would respond to this basically saying she's comfortable in her own skin and provides more pictures from better angles without makeup, but still to this day this image tends to pop up whenever Pokimane lands herself in controversy, and this was one of the first times she would see such a large amount of hate, and it was one of the handful of times she would actually have a somewhat good response, which wouldn't just result in her getting even more hate. But then almost straight after that, at the beginning of 2019, we had the Pokimane copyright situation where people really started to question her character. So basically she had a public Twitter argument with everybody's favourite gnome, Keemstar.
Oh god.
Everybody type in the chat, Alex is a stupid...
This was over Keemstar saying how SS Sniper Wolf must Photoshop her pictures, and he proceeded to point and laugh at her fans that were defending her after he said this, and Pokimane would get involved at this point defending the fans, which just resulted in a back and forth of both of them sending videos at each other over Twitter, with Keem calling her fake and Pokimane saying he's hateful. However, by the end of it, both would delete the responses and move on. But someone had archived the entire interaction and uploaded it to YouTube, which was actually the type of content they were known for, and this was Boblax, who I know just by mentioning their name in the current years like scraping a chalkboard, but this was before their whole controversy. But with Pokimane seeing this archive of the entire interaction, she would then choose to commit one of the cardinal sins of YouTube, which is abusing the copyright system and getting the video taken down. Which many at the time thought it was because it didn't show her in the best light and perhaps contradicted her on-stream image. Boblax would make a statement on this saying she had abused the copyright system. This of course gained a lot of traction and resulted in Pokimane getting a lot of shit. Even PewDiePie got involved, saying taking down a video covering your drama just causes a Streisand effect and leads to more people shitting on you.
Somewhat understand the motivation of trying to take down that video, but the problem here is that you're just drawing more attention to it. It's the Streisand effect every single time.
And around the same time, making the situation worse was another instance where she was basically threatening to take down another channel's videos that was taking clips of her stream because she thought they weren't transformative enough. But for context, these videos had somewhat wild thumbnails and titles, but at the time this clip did not help her case.
Edit videos and actually put effort into it and make it more entertaining for the viewer. Like, wow, I'm so sorry that it takes you a lot of time to steal other people's content. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, no.
And put it together. I'm so sorry that it takes... I'll be taking down some of your videos, but yeah, I just hope you stop doing this.
With that said, some people made the point that she's saying his videos are not transformative enough, but here she was reacting to other people's videos on her stream and not really providing much of an input.
Fuck! React slop. I love React slop. They got me. They got me.
And some people made the point that she's saying his videos are not transformative enough, but here she was reacting to other people's videos on her stream and not really providing much of an input. It came off as a bit hypocritical. The criticism eventually reached a point where she could not ignore it, and she would respond to the drama 2 months later, by 1, talking privately to Boblax, and 2, issuing an apology video which currently is no longer available. In the video, she basically said she took down Boblax's video because it was getting a lot of traction and she just wanted the drama to be over with, and she was wrong in thinking that would work. And the apology was going well till she said she was well within her right to do so, and then saves herself by saying it was not morally okay to do it. Talk about a roller coaster of an apology.
So Boblax strung together all the tweets and videos from Twitter and just re-uploaded it to YouTube with no editing or commentary or voiceover. That video was getting a lot of traction at the time, and just being completely honest with you guys, I kind of wanted to be over with all the petty drama. Although I was legally within my...
That one guy on the Clueless React, why didn't you react to the actual video? Wait, what? Did somebody actually comment that on the React? No, you're lying. Wait, I haven't seen the comment. Honestly, I think you should react to the interview instead of this reaction to a reaction, but this is still fun. Why can't people just enjoy it? Why can't you just enjoy it, okay? Just enjoy your stay! Nah, it's chill. That's so funny. I didn't know. That's so funny. I didn't know. That is hilarious. I didn't know that.
Right? That video was getting a lot of traction at the time, and just being completely honest with you guys, I kind of wanted to be over with all the petty drama. Although I was legally within my right to take down the video, morally and as a content creator, it wasn't something that I should have done because, I mean, at the end of the day, those were tweets that me and Keem made publicly and videos that we made publicly.
But ultimately the situation was over. She spoke to Burblax, she somewhat apologised, but this was one of her first major controversies and the first thing that made people somewhat cautious when trusting Pokimane. And it wouldn't be long till the next situation occurred and had almost the same effect. But now it was 2020 and Pokimane was doing very well. People had moved on from the previous drama and she was reaching new heights in her career, especially with the new Among Us phase and the newly announced Valorant. Remember that? That was 6 years ago now. Yeah, 2020 was 6 years ago.
Wow.
COVID really did backdoor our brains.
Wow.
Poki was now comfortably averaging over 20,000 viewers per stream, and sometimes
Why are you saying
she
schlatt?
peaked at over 100,000 concurrent viewers. And this still wasn't even her peak. Also around this time was when viewers, and this
Unfortunately, maybe fortunately, I only found Pokey because of Schlatt.
still wasn't even her peak. Also around this time was when the term simp was being heavily used, which is a word used when describing someone that shows excessive devotion towards someone or something, and in the context of the internet they would mainly use this when describing the dedicated viewers of female streamers because supposedly they were stereotypically a lot more diehard and would defend the streamer more than the average chatter of a male streamer. Of course, this led to people labeling the average Pokimane watcher as a simp, which is something she would later comment on, somewhat defending her audience. But piggybacking off the rise of the word simp was a video by It's a Gundam, and it heavily involved fans of Pokimane, including one fan that apparently donated their savings to Pokimane.
I'm kind of short on savings, but I'll definitely get 500 to drop this week, laughing my ass off. Hope she sees this and knows I love and miss her XD.
This would result in Pokimane reacting to that video because it heavily featured criticism of her and her audience, and she wouldn't have the best response to it, saying some of these cases or simps aren't actually donating this much money, and she doesn't like that he is making fun of her audience.
I'm so sorry. It is insanely hard to take this person seriously that is like dressed up as a VR person.
Oh fuck, dude, she's following me on Twitter. Wait, Pokey, hold on. Take it back, take it back, take it back, take it back.
Seriously. That is like dressed up as a VR person.
Pokey, please!
Not showing their faces.
No!
That's his choice. But you're also falling for this very obvious bait? Oh no. Literally just nice random people that are taking a photo of me or a photo with me. That's not freaking cool, dude.
She overall just didn't like the video, but the problem was that she then goes on a rant which from the outside was perceived as her directing her audience to dislike the video.
People like this stop is if people like me and my community give them feedback that this is not an okay thing to do.
I mean, I'll be talking about the hate I get, you know what I mean? Because I come across it, you know? Sadly, I come across my own hate. But, like, I'll be talking about the hate I get live, but I'll never show it on stream. I'll never mention it, like, the username or shit like that, you know what I mean? I was like, oh yeah, chat, I saw something. You wouldn't believe it. And I'm like, don't send hate. Just leave them alone. Mind your business. But I'm going to talk about it, though.
Not attack, but I had a little dislike and I say, this not cool. And if you think something is not okay and you want to see less of it, you also have to give feedback because
you know we crazy. It's just more of
YouTubers-
like, I don't want you guys catching stray, being my fan. You know what I mean? Like that's how it is sometimes. You know what I mean? I had like other creators like talk shit about my community, and it was because like I'm an insane person. You know what I mean? Like in a sense of like I'm very like chaotic in a sense, or was. I don't know if however it is. And they would just say that like you're too hyper, your community's too hyper, to this, to that. And I was like, okay, well then I just won't be around you guys. No need to attack my community. You can attack my character all you want. Okay, you can attack me and my personality, but attacking my community just for watching me is something that, like, that's not cool, man. They just be minding their business, okay? All right. Maybe my community fucks with you. Who knows? Like, maybe they actually like you. Like, what the fuck? That's fucked up, bro.
Okay, and you want to see less of it, you also have to give feedback because that's how YouTubers work.
In the outcome of this, It's a Gundam's video gets bombarded, and he even loses a big sponsorship deal that he was working on.
I had a sponsorship kind of lined up with like a big video game company. Yeah, that kind of went. So I hope you're happy, folks.
This led to another wave of criticism for Poki, and considering it was so soon after the previous controversy, people assumed either she had not learned her lesson or that she could not handle criticism properly, which resulted in even more people questioning her character at that point. But after getting a lot of backlash, she would apologise personally to It's a Gundam and make another apology video, also addressing other claims at the time, and it was supposedly all water under the bridge after this.
I want to sincerely apologize to both It's a Gundam and to the sponsor of that video for the remarks and comments that I made.
Despite these setbacks, she was still doing very well. She still averaged thousands of viewers and even debuted as a VTuber for like 3 streams. And then went back to being a fleshy. She would see her overall peak in...
Hold on now. You forgot this information too. Hold on now. She was catching a lot of hate from VTubers. Hold on now. She was catching so much hate from VTubers. Let's not forget this, alright? Really? Yes, bro. She was catching so much fucking shit from VTubers. They were like, we don't let you in, Poki. We don't fuck with you. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what the hell? Well, I get it, guys. She might be hopping on the bandwagon. Of course, the VTubing popularity train. I get it. But, some of these motherfuckers that were flesh tubers are VTubers now. You know what I mean? So, what the fuck? That, like, caught me by surprise. I was like, hello? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Streams, and then went back to being a fleshy.
Maybe that's just me, but...
overall peak in 2022, and around the same time she would eventually leave her place at offline TV to pursue other things. But she was at the top of her game. Most people on the internet knew her name, and the support she was receiving around this time was overwhelming. It took her 7 years and a gamble to reach this point, and it was a resounding success. That is a basic version of how Pokimane got to where she is today and some of the events along the way. But as she's grown, so has some of the resentment and distrust for her, because going past 2023, it's now reached a point where it's common to see hate for her, and it speaks louder than any good things being said about her. And it's probably due to a build-up over time with the controversy surrounding her as she grew, and key points like her cookie situation, because past that point is where the criticism for her really became mainstream. But what are said critiques surrounding her, and why is she so hated?
Like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? 4 bags, $7 a bag. I know math is hard. Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
So one of the main critiques Pokimane faces is that the so-called persona she shows on most of her streams, where she's usually this wholesome kind...
Have you seen her Twitch tracker, Annie? No, because I don't really care about people's stats. That doesn't matter to me. If you're gonna tell me to look at her Twitch tracker, why the fuck are you looking at it, buddy?
White person is all fake, and this is just a mask she wears on stream to be perceived in a good light. But if we were being honest, a lot of streamers probably are putting on acts or are creating characters they will only show on stream. There are very few streamers you can confidently say arms, and even then you don't know them personally, so you wouldn't know if they are. But more so with Pokimane, people didn't think that she was this nice person she constantly represented, and it was commonly stated it was all fake.
Curiosity, damn, so angry. I just feel like that's like none of our business, you know what I mean? Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm fast and you're slow. That's how I did it. Sorry.
Person she constantly represented, and it was commonly stated it was all fake. Because there has been moments throughout her career these critics point to where this apparent mask slips, and in their eyes she shows her true character. Some of these moments I have already mentioned, like with the Boblax and It's a Gundam situation. In one, she tried to silence
like
drama,
I said, curiosity. Have you looked at my
and in
stats?
the other, she reacted.
Woo! That Anniepants, bitch. Woo! Washed. Woo! Washed, bro. I saw her stats. She went from averaging like 400 viewers to 2. Pfft. That bitch is washed, bro. And she's still streaming to this day.
In one, she tried to silence drama, which just made it worse, and in the other, she reacted poorly to a video criticizing
I heard that she hates women.
Her fan base.
That's
but
fucked
there
up.
are more recent events people have pointed to, like what happened surrounding the XQC Kick contract, where XQC was offered a huge amount of money with the claimed figure being 100 million, in which most of it by now has probably been put into a slot machine knowing him, and this deal was so that he would stream on Kick. This wasn't even an exclusivity deal. He could stream on both Twitch and Kick as long as he hit his required amount of streamed hours on Kick. Now Kick is owned by Stake, a company mainly known for gambling, which around 2023 gambling in the streaming space was being heavily criticized, with the argument being that streaming gambling would encourage the streamer's audience to do it, and it could result in younger, more impressionable viewers getting addicted or losing a significant amount of money. This eventually led to Twitch at the time banning gambling, which also resulted in a lot of these gambling streamers moving to Twitch's competitor, Kick.
Wow.
Now with XQC being offered 100 million generational wealth, even his great-grandchildren will be able to buy at least 2 sticks of
I know you're real, Chad. Don't do this to me, please. Please don't do this to me.
generational wealth. Even his great-grandchildren will be able to buy at least 2 sticks of DDR5 RAM, which will probably be the biggest flex in the future with how RAM prices are right now.
Oh my
But
god.
this was a lot of money with a requirement he was already happy doing. So a lot of other streamers would understand why he would take the deal, and a lot of people congratulated him on it. But Pokimane, someone that had previously been somewhat buddy-buddy with XQC, upon hearing about this would not congratulate him from what I saw, and instead would go on a rant about how Twitch could shut down Kick at any point, which was a claim that was wrong. That would be Amazon's web service, and I'm pretty sure that would violate their user agreement.
Kick makes Twitch money. Like, Kick is using Twitch's services. And if Twitch really wanted, they could just stop giving these services to Kick.
What?
Well, right now, they're just sitting back like, thanks, I guess.
And around the start of another stream, upon being asked if she would ever take a deal herself, she responds in a bit of a self-righteous way, saying she would never compromise her morals and it's cringe, and people would think she was referring to XQC and his big deal around this time.
No, and it's not because I got like $10 million. It's just because I'm good as I am. Why would I compromise my morals and ethics for more money when I have money? Something about that is so cringe to me personally. Like, I understand, you know, if you need to make money, for me to do cringe shit when I have I can't. Like, ew.
This would result in both of them getting into a call and presenting both of their points, which didn't solve anything.
Well, basically, Hassan, we're kind of done talking about me being a snake, so I think it's time we talk about you being a snake. Take it away, X.
Okay, well, I want.
But what made it worse, and one of the main points people used that she is fake, was when previously when streamers were congratulating XQC, one streamer who was associated with Pokimane, who did publicly congratulate XQC on his deal, for some reason Poki would send them a message and question why she would congratulate him.
I tweeted congrats to XQC and Kick because I think it's like a win-win situation for both parties. And she reached out and she was like, I was kind of surprised that you were publicly supporting it. And crypto gambling, it promotes gambling.
But
You know, all these streamers be airing out their business. Oh my god, dude. Holy fuck. Wow, bro. Holy. Oh my god, dude. I am not telling anybody a secret. Oh my god, dude. God damn. Oh my god, bro. I feel like that's just insane. I don't need to know your beef with someone else, dog.
And crypto gambling, it promotes gambling.
But to be fair, the streamer that claims this does actually add more context when this clip blew up, defending Pokimane.
I talked more about the subject for like 10 minutes, which unfortunately isn't shown in the clip, but she questioned via DM because she knows I'm against streaming gambling and was wondering my stance on why I supported X and Kick, which I also explained on stream after the clip. I shouldn't have even mentioned our private conversation, but if anything, it shows her consistency off and on cam. Can the girls stop fighting, please? Yo, bro. Oh, yeah, bro. I'm taking my shit to the grave. Oh my god. I can't trust these people. Couldn't be Anniepants. Couldn't be Anniepants. She doesn't know how to talk and air out dirty laundry. Dude, even when I'm drunk, me fucking leaking shit. Sag. It's okay, Oshi. We know your opinion on Valky. What are you talking? I have no idea what you're talking about. Clueless.
Eventually the drama would be over, but a lot of people question why she would insert herself into this situation and why she reacted the way she did, especially with someone that she had previously associated with, but this would be a situation referenced with this criticism. Another case referred to, and one that was probably her biggest fumble, which I personally think played an integral role in where her reputation and public standing is to this day, and that was with the cookie situation, where she worked with a company to release a cookie that was claimed to be a healthy snack alternative called Miana. Now, people noticed a lot of problems with the cookie. One, it almost had exactly the same values and looked almost like another brand. And two, it was very expensive.
Guys, I'll be so for real too. I ain't give a fuck about the cookie drama. You know what I mean? I bought the cookies. They tasted alright. They tasted for healthy people. I'm not one of those people. But I did not give a fuck about the drama.
Just for one bag.
Buy from the store, how much would it cost?
Yeah, $14. So it's $14 without shipping. Yeah, without shipping.
No.
Yeah.
That can't be right.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's so bad.
And three,
thanks.
People said they tasted pretty bad. But with the first point on the launch, people would go to her chat and say, you know, these cookies are a bit overpriced, which led to a response which is another one of Pokimane's infamous clips, which once again still follows her around to this day.
Like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags.
They tasted for healthy people is a hell of an insult. Wait, what? Wait, was that an insult? I wasn't even insulting the cookies. I was just saying. I wasn't insulting anybody. I was. They just like tasted for people that wanted like a healthier alternative of like a cookie, bro. That's what I wasn't trying to insult anyone. I think the thing people didn't like was that it was really similar flavor that the company sold before. I don't know, bro. It just didn't bother me. I didn't really care enough, to be honest. I mean. I wasn't trying to
$28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so. Anyway.
Now this clip would blow up. Even Moist Critical made a video on it. She would later say this was a joke, but some would point to her previously having the same attitude days prior. Regardless if this was a joke, the internet had cast their judgment, and this on top of many other situations I've mentioned would be used as evidence towards the point that Pokimane can't take criticism. and that there are moments where she reacts in a way that contradicts the image she's built up over the years that leads to people coming to the conclusion that her personality is fabricated or unorganic. The next common critique about Pokimane is that she is performative, which is a word heavily being used in the current year, and for a content creator, being called performative probably has the same effect as being called a slur. But people think Pokimane often makes claims or says things because that is the current thing, and she doesn't actually fully believe in what she's saying, and a lot of times people claim it's just virtue signaling. A key example people recently use is when on stream she ranted about the rich and how she hates the rich, which some thought was a bit hypocritical since it's estimated she is very wealthy herself, and of course people would bring up her very expensive cookies, even using it to counter a previous point she made about capitalism. But in that moment she does clarify she's talking about the ultra rich, not rich people like her, which did not save her from any criticism. Overall, a rich person talking about how they hate the rich, even if it is the giga rich, can be viewed as more ironic than anything, and it did not have the desired effect.
The wage gap, I hate that shit.
No, wealth disparity.
Wealth disparity.
Wage gap is like between men and women. Men and women, we love each other.
Facts.
And we hate the rich. Anyways.
Aren't you the rich?
No! Like the ultra rich, the ultra giga rich, the unnecessarily
you have to clarify.
rich.
People also point to how sometimes she will tweet about things
I
like—
will say this, guys. Maybe this is like wrong of me, but I think some people should not be hanging out with young people in a sense of like, in a sense of like, I feel like a lot of like these older streamers, I'm not trying to sound, I'm really trying my hardest like to not sound rude, but like there's like a different like mentality. And I know age isn't like, oh, but Annie, age doesn't depend on maturity. I think it does. I'm gonna be so for real. I think it does, bro. And I think it depends on the different sex too as well. You know what I mean? You could have said some shit, have a voice. I'd agree. What? Could have said some shouldn't. Oh, how the fuck did I read shouldn't as shit? Oh my god, how did I read that? Wait, don't talk. I need to scroll back up. Never mind, I give up. Go put your glasses on. My bad. My bad. Okay, let me read that again. You could have said some shouldn't have a voice, and I'd agree. It's just more of a like, I think I think it's more of like, I've noticed that like these older streamers, like in their 30s, right, or getting close, I don't know, like a lot of like these older streamers like are already in their 30s. They act so fucking stupid whenever they hang out with like people that are like in their 20s or late 20s. They act like it's like everything that the way that they acted before is out the window whenever they're like interacting like with these young streamers. I'm like, what the fuck? I've noticed it. I don't know. Am I going crazy? Because I've noticed it. I've seen a lot of these people just like act like. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe I just don't have any friends, but I think that shit's crazy, bro. Oh my god. Guys, we should appreciate Oshi because she's paying to see us. What? I'm paying? Why am I paying to see you guys? Hello? Paying to see you guys?
Like in this now deleted tweet, where she says how she missed when streaming was about gaming and not just drama baiting and clip farming. in which people would remind her she's been in a few dramas and initiated some when she didn't really need to. People also refer to this comment she made in an interview where she says streaming is too male dominated and there aren't any female streamers the same size as people like iShowSpeed, which people would admit is true, but point out there wasn't a lot of female streamers doing content like iShowSpeed. And for some, it felt like she was discrediting the progress females have made in the streaming space, especially in the last few years. A key example was with Vtubers, which, ironically, is female dominated. This is apparently a claim she brings up a lot because this original story was made over a year ago. Yet as recent as 2 months ago, it was brought up again. I'm pretty sure people are just recycling it at this point. But Poki does make statements like this a lot and they don't always land. Like her comment on believing all victims, yep, it was brought up that she was laughing at Amber Heard during her trial when she was supposedly the victim, and when called out on this, she would apologise. I think even recently there was another event where she was called a moody socialist billionaire by her chat, and she responds by banning them and saying if she was one, she wouldn't be one for long because she would give away all her money.
I think I'm a billionaire, you cookie bean. I'm so sorry. If I ever was a billionaire, I'm a
Hard Stuck Gold. That's fire. That's a fire name.
billionaire, you cookie bean. I'm so sorry. If I ever was a billionaire, I wouldn't be a billionaire for more than a day. I would give away most of my money.
And there are other examples people use to claim she's performative.
I'm an immigrant girl. We always feel like we gotta work. Work.
Pokimane immigrated to Canada from Morocco when she was 4 years old, which would be around the year 2000. Okay, so you didn't immigrate shit, your parents did. And besides you studying at a university, you've never had a normal job outside of content creation.
The final reason I found for why people hate Pokimane is simply just down to fatigue. Now, I have said in a previous video, Pokimane finds herself in a controversy or situation once every 3 months. Whether
I was told that every publicity is good publicity. God, dude.
it's down to something she says or does. And I think what I said still applies to this day. For some reason recently she proposed to herself and made it a public thing, and the next thing was she started talking about her relationships and how she doesn't need a man, and then she starts doing content with a guy people insist is her boyfriend. And all of this is fine, it's her life, she can do whatever she wants and she can create whatever content she wants. But indirectly, it's led to fatigue where people are tired of seeing these arbitrary statements on Twitter or a stunt like her proposing to herself. And these are the only things you really hear about Pokimane nowadays, and it's not all her fault, but people are tired of it. Some claim her openly doing these type of things is because she's going through a midlife crisis or attention seeking. My personal theory, leading to what I said at the start of the video, is that she has the self-awareness to know she's made it in life. She doesn't, from my knowledge, have to worry about important things like her finances, and she knows there's nothing she can do to change anyone's mind regarding her reputation. I mean, at this point she's a lot less apologetic than she was in previous years, where around that time if she saw a ton of backlash she'd make a public statement or apologise, but she doesn't really do that anymore. I think she knows she's only one comment away from a 5'2" Venezuelan homeless Canadian man making a video on her so he can feed his 5 children. So she plays into it, and I think 2025 onwards she is just rage baiting people at this point. And it works so very well, but I may be giving her too much credit. Pokimane right now is at the phase I assume where
she's rage baiting? What?
I may be giving her too much credit. Pokimane right now is at the phase I assume where her online career is winding down. She doesn't stream as much as she used to, she doesn't stream to as many people as she used to, she's losing followers on Twitch, and there is a lot of hate out there for her. So I think at this point she's just having fun with it, but that's just my theory.
A game theory. You want me to take out a gun and blow a fucking hole in your head right here? Right now? You want that?
So in conclusion, does Pokimane deserve the hate she receives? Well, in terms of the criticism she receives, I think she deserves said criticism in some cases, especially in situations where it comes to her responding to things or making comments she doesn't really need to make. and she has done this a lot, which has led to a shift in her reputation over the years. But obviously there are people that take their dislike for her too far, like harassing her and sending weird messages to her. But in terms of general criticism, I think there is some logic behind it, and I think recently she is rage-baiting people for the love of the game. However, despite this, looking at her career, it's still impressive what she's done in the past decade. No matter what criticism you have for her, you really can't take that achievement away. Once again, thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check it out. It's free on PC, consoles, and mobile. Find the links below and in the pinned comments to grab your bonus pack, including multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive Eagles of Valor vehicle decorator, 100,000 silver lions, and 7 days of premium. Available on PC and console for new and returning players who haven't played for at least 6 months. But yep, that's all I really had to say, and bye-bye.
Bye! I got jumped on Twitter and into like in some like YouTube comments when I said like, yeah, low-key, I think some of y'all just hate Pokey to hate, and so many people like fucking hated me that day. I was like, yep.